Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Taurus placements, there may be a message in here for you. So if you are a Taurus Sun, happy birthday. But you could be Sun, Moon, or Rising, doesn't matter for this video, or any other placement, of course. There's a lot of messages coming through for you, Taurus. I feel like there is something about an expansion. There's a lot of layers to what's coming in right now. I feel like there's something here. First of all, the throat chakra is really being highlighted for your reading today. But it's feeling kind of like this feeling of like being choked up. It could be emotionally. It could be something like something's making you emotional, and so it's like difficult to speak or express something. It's also coming through as being like some sort of blockage in the throat chakra, but I feel like the blockage is not necessarily yours, is how it's coming through. It almost feels kind of like you're being asked to keep a secret, Taurus. It's not your secret, is how it's feeling, which is why you can't express it, right? Like that's how it's coming through. There's something here of like maybe trying to, there is something that you want to express, but there's something holding you back from doing so. That's how it's feeling. And it feels like, because for an example, like as an example, it might not be exactly this for you, Taurus, but it's almost like you have news. That's just how it's coming through. You have news to share, but it's not your news. So it's like it's not your news to share. It's not your secret to share. So it's kind of like you're waiting for the other person, whoever's news it is or whatever. You're waiting for that person to announce it or to like say it or something like that. And so you're intentionally keeping quiet about something is how it's coming through. This feeling of like your throat chakra is not open at the moment in whatever way, but I feel like it's for a good reason. I know it may not feel like that, but it feels kind of like because of this, it feels like a secret of some sort, or like something that you want to share, want to express, but you can't for whatever reason, is causing frustration within you. Because it feels like there is something that you want to express, but you can't. Not because you're not able, but because there's some other circumstance or something outside of your control that's preventing you from doing so. It feels kind of like timing is part of the obstacle, is what's coming through with that. Like it's not the right time to do so, or there are certain elements that have to happen first, or you're just waiting for the perfect opportunity or the right time or whatever to express this thing that has been that you've been holding within yourself, is how it's coming through. So there's this energy here of frustration. And it's almost also feeling kind of like an obstacle, because I feel like there are many different people involved in whatever this is. There's like an energy here where it's like you're holding some sort of secret to yourself. It's not your secret to share, so it wouldn't be right for you to express this, right? Like that's how it's coming through. That feels in alignment for you, Taurus. Like it's not your secret to share, so just keeping it to yourself. But at the same time, I feel like this news would affect a larger group of people, either like it could be like one other person or a bigger group in general. That's how it's coming through. So it's almost presenting as an obstacle because the people who would be affected by this news don't have clarity. So it's kind of like it's affecting you because you can't make a situation clear for somebody, but at the same time you can't express something because it's not fair to the person whose secret it is. So it's kind of like stuck between a rock and a hard place. That's how it's feeling. And actually, when I was getting this message, I was given the image or the scene in the first Lord of the Rings when the Fellowship has to pass through the mines of Moria because that's their only choice. So there may be something of like a tunnel energy, but at the same time, it's like the way was blocked because they didn't have the right password. There's something about like a friend group maybe that's being affected by something, where it's like at a standstill because you don't have the way forward yet. But there's also this sort of mounting pressure from another, like the other side to move forward, right? Like that's how it's coming through. There's frustration in right now the path is blocked. And the path needs to be opened in order to move forward. But you can't open the path right now, or the path is not open to you right now, is how it's coming through. It's a timing issue. It almost feels like a situation where the pressure needs to build. Like it almost feels like that. Like there's a mounting pressure in order to create forward momentum. It almost feels like that. Like it's like the situation requires the frustration or the like a buildup of pressure in order for there to be movement. Because it could be something where it's like the obstacle requires a large amount of energy in order to move it out of the way, is how it's feeling. So the mounting pressure or the frustration that you might feel is in order to move the obstacle, which requires a great amount of energy. That's how it's feeling. So, Taurus, I want to say thank you for your patience. I feel like there's something about patience that you're really being asked to tap into at the moment. There's patience, but I feel like you're dealing with a bit of impatience or frustration regarding a certain obstacle that's preventing forward movement at the moment. And it feels kind of like whatever's on the other side of this is something that you are anticipating an expansion. So there may be something here of like feeling like you don't have enough space, or that there's like a restlessness or almost like a claustrophobia is how it's feeling, like this feeling of like something like constricting. But it feels almost like in the way that you express yourself, like there's something, okay, interesting. There's some form of constriction in the way that you express yourself that you're finding frustrating, is how it's coming through, because it's almost like the way that you wish to express yourself is not available to you at the moment. It's not, for whatever reason, I don't know why, it's just not available to you right now. It feels like something is bubbling up. Like I'm seeing kind of like something where like shaking a bottle of pop, right? Like the carbonated drink is agitated, right? Like it's that kind of thing, and then you open it and it bursts out, right? Like it's kind of something like that. But I feel like that's something that there's something like that where it's like it's trying to be avoided. That sort of energy is trying to be avoided, like a bursting open or something like that. That's what's trying to be avoided. Or like because it's kind of like something has been shaken up, but now it's almost like you have to wait. That's how it's feeling. Like something has been shaken up, but you have to wait so that when you open it, it doesn't cause a mess. That's how it's feeling. Very interesting. I feel like, okay, I'm just gonna leave that there. Taurus. Okay. It feels like a pause, like it's almost like a hanged man energy. You can't move forward yet. Okay. Taurus. You have Saturn coming out, structure, but I'm going to pull another one. Yeah, the Saturn energy. Some lessons. And root. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. And you have Sun, Source at the bottom of the deck. Okay, because this root card is looking like the door to the mines of Moria, right? Like it looks like this. There's a tree on the front of the door. Speak friend and you shall enter is the password or the riddle that you must solve. There's some sort of doorway. But I feel like the way through this doorway is very structured. Or is feeling like constricted is just the word that's coming through. Like it's feeling kind of like a tunnel. Or that there's not a lot of light, or perhaps you've been in this period of time for a while and it's like there's frustration of like, when is it going to end? It will. It's a timing issue though. Okay, I'm going to see what this root card says. I just keep hearing like mounting pressure. Okay, this points to the memories and experiences that fed your first roots, your early home life, your family's traditions, and your biological and emotional heritage. Look to the roots. Think about what makes you feel at home and secure, what creates sanctuary for you. The challenge of this card is unconscious patterns from your personal history may underlie the situation and need excavation. The gift is build roots of your own. Feel your spine extend like a deep taproot of a tree into the ground. Feel the strength of the earth pulsing up through you, holding you strong through any storm. Okay, there's a lot coming through with that. This energy of roots, right? And like being underground, right? Like in a tunnel. But there may be something uncomfortable about that for you, especially if it relates to emotional patterns or family patterns or your early emotional life or feelings of security and stability. There may be like trauma that you're working through is how it's coming through, like deep patterns that you are working through and it does feel like changing. I feel like you're going through a very intense healing energy at the moment, Taurus, that may have something to do with how you express yourself or the throat chakra in whatever way. It could also be setting boundaries. It could be expression, anything to do with the throat chakra. It doesn't have to literally be speaking, although that is part of it. It could be anything that's messages, communication. I'm getting Mercury energy very strongly now. There could be something about communication and expression that is being healed within you that has to do with like deep. It's feeling like emotional patterns from your past or from your roots. Like I keep wanting to say something and I keep slipping. That's part of it. I feel like there's also something here about like there's a situation that feels like it's not, again, it's not yours to share or it's not yours to express or whatever, but this, like, and that's I feel like that's in alignment. It's like, no, you should not share something that's not yours to share. But I feel like there is something about the situation that may be triggering an old wound like that, where it's like, the fact that you can't express something is triggering an old wound that relates to a situation or a pattern in which you were silenced. That's how it's coming through. Or a situation in which you felt you did not have a voice, right? That's how it's feeling. So it's like this situation that you're in right now where you maybe are not permitted to express something that you want to express for whatever reason. It feels like not a bad reason, but that feeling of not being able to speak whatever it is that you want to speak or say or whatever is triggering a wound from the past where you were silenced or you felt you didn't have a voice for negative reasons, if that makes sense. So there's something like that happening where I feel like you're transmuting some sort of pain or wound that has to do with the throat chakra, about like not being able to speak up for yourself or not being able to set boundaries or feeling like you don't have a voice in a situation or whatever it is, that kind of thing. It feels like you're transmuting that at the moment. There is something about like like a password or something like that. It could have something to do with friendship, but it doesn't have to be. But like there could be something about translation that's important, or like miscommunication or communication in general that's part of this healing process. There could be a friend who's helping you to heal this. Okay. Yeah, okay. Very interesting. The wolf and the dragon for you, Taurus. Okay, because the wolf does talk about family. It talks about family, like being part of a pack, but I sometimes see this wolf as being like a little bit of a phoenix energy, and also like a lone wolf or a wolf that is leaving their pack in order to like start their own. Like that's how it's coming through. So it could be something like that. Maybe you are transmuting family patterns is just how it's coming through, or patterns that were developed at an early age, or like root chakra energy. That's how it's feeling. With the dragon here as well, that is a card about, it's the solar plexus first of all. It represents willpower, but there's also something about like seeing your true self that's significant here. Seeing like the self behind the self. There could be masculine father energy related to whatever this is. Especially with Saturn. I feel like there are a lot of like karmic lessons that you are learning and transmuting at the moment. But it does feel healing. But again, healing is not always easy. The elephant, I knew it. Okay. I was seeing this card. Because this is the destroyer of obstacles, right? There is... And you have the bear at the bottom of the deck, which is an awakening card. I feel like you are destroying some sort of obstacle. or perceived obstacle. That sounds so... I don't like that, the way that that's phrased. Because everything is about how we perceive it, right? So it's an obstacle. But there is something here of destroying an obstacle. Because it's I feel like there's something, again, of like hanged man energy, like having to see something a different way. Or like changing your perspective about something, or some sort of illumination about a situation that is changing your perspective about something with the dragon. Like seeing something from a different perspective that is destroying an obstacle, or like the obstacles being moved. There could be something about the root chakra that's presenting as an obstacle for you. The elephant represents immense wisdom as well as good fortune. It is said that the great elephant is the destroyer of obstacles. So if this card appears when you feel stuck, rest assured the path will soon become clear. Yeah. Because it feels kind of like, Taurus, like you've been in a tunnel. It almost feels like... No. That's not the right way. Okay. I feel like there's a lot of past energy coming through with this. Like your past, or the roots, or a situation in which you felt you did not have a voice, or that you couldn't express something, or that you weren't heard, or that your boundaries were not respected, or something like that, that you are transmuting or working through. And there's a situation that you're in right now that is not the same as that. It feels different, because it's almost like there's a good reason for whatever it is that is preventing you from expressing yourself, but the feeling is the same, right? Like it feels like you can't express something, and it's triggering a past situation where maybe you felt helpless, or that you felt stuck, or something like that. But there's illumination and clarity that is coming through for you soon, if it hasn't yet. I feel like you've been in the dark about something, or you have had to keep somebody else in the dark about something. That could be it as well. Because it's almost something like, it's something like Gandalf. You're coming through as Gandalf today, Taurus. Like at the entrance to the mines of Moria, where it's like maybe there's something here where you know that there's something up ahead that's going to be a difficult challenge to get through. You know this is how this is how it's coming through. You know that there's some sort of difficult challenge up ahead that's going to affect a group that you're a part of, or something like that, the people that you love, your family, or whatever. But you're not saying it. You're not expressing it because it's kind of like it's not an obstacle yet. Maybe you're anticipating something like that, or that there's, or because it's like you haven't entered the mines yet, right? That's how it's coming through. You're not in the mines yet. You're at the doorway, and it's almost like, do I want to go through this door? Do I want to bring this group through this door? But it's almost like you don't have a choice, right? Like it's like there's pressure building from the other direction that you have to move forward. But moving forward, there's an obstacle up ahead that you know is going to be an obstacle, or is going to be a challenge that perhaps even it's almost like that might even be part of what's stopping you from moving forward right now. It's because it's like the doorway is blocked. It's almost like maybe you're preventing the doorway from opening because you know that whatever's up ahead is even worse. That's how it's coming through. I know that sounds really intense, Taurus, but that's how it's feeling. There's something here of like, you're not moving forward. The way is blocked for you at the moment because it's like whatever is on the other side of the door is something that you don't want to face. But is this the only path that you can take? Maybe part of what's ahead for you is a separation energy that you don't want to face. That's going to be very difficult to face, but in some way I feel like you don't have a choice, Taurus. It's the choice is not yours to make, is how it's feeling. It's like it's not your choice, it's not your secret, it's not your whatever. So it's kind of like this is the path that you have to take, but it's difficult. The path that you're on feels kind of like there's a very big challenge, but at the same time you have this energy supporting you. It's like, I don't think it's going to be as bad as you think it is, or that there's some sort of illumination or clarity that's going to help the situation, but you don't see what that is yet. It's like you're not meant to see that yet. But perhaps there's fear, is just how it's coming through. Okay. The throat chakra, well, as now, like before I started the reading, it was constricted, but now it feels open. Like I feel like there's something here about like once you express this, a weight will be lifted. But it's not time yet. It just keeps coming through like that. You can't say it yet. It's not the right time. It's almost like there needs to be this pause is for your benefit. Alchemical Wedding. That's a really positive card. Can I get one more? Mortification. Yeah, that's the discomfort. This is the death card. Maybe there is something. Okay. Because the Alchemical Wedding is a card about like coming together, a celebration. It's like you've achieved something, you've accomplished something. It's time to celebrate whatever it is you've achieved, right? That's how it's feeling. Maybe there's a period of that's coming to an end for you, Taurus, where it's like maybe you have been in this period of time where you have been celebrating some sort of achievement, but whatever's ahead is like getting back to work is how it's coming through. It keeps coming through as a separation that maybe you are going to be separated from a group in some way. Like perhaps that's part of the path that you're on, that you have to leave a group or a situation where it's this, right? And you don't want to leave that. The Alchemical Wedding, this sort of celebration energy. That's why it's hard. But in the end, because it feels kind of like there's a situation where it's like you are Gandalf, Taurus. You're Gandalf, and whatever path you're on is a path where you are going to face some sort of challenge that feels like it's part of your destiny. Here with the elephant, it is part of your destiny. This is what elevates you from the gray to the white wizard, right? Like that's how it's feeling. It's an elevation for you. It is an expansion for you, but the expansion and the elevation requires you to separate from a group that feels like this, which is so beautiful and lovely. The alchemical wedding, it's a celebration, it's happy, it's achievement, it's coming together, that kind of energy. It's a fellowship, right? It could be a friendship group or something like that, or community. And it's like, but in order for you to go to the next level, to expand, it requires leaving this group or being separated from the group. However it plays out for you. You have the red and white rose coming out. This is a card about the physical giving way to the spiritual. The physical being a gateway or a threshold for the spiritual to have an outlet. That's what this card represents. Because I feel like you are working through the physical environment at the moment. That's yeah, there's a lot of root chakra energy coming through with this. Let me read what this says. 1 second. The vital force arising and awakening. The red and white rose appears to signify the awakening of the physical as a gateway to the spiritual. Without the body, spiritual teachings remain conceptual, not yet integrated into the everyday. This card encourages the alchemist to honor the body as a temple each and every day, observing it, listening to it, mining it for information and guidance. At its height, this card signifies a mastery, a uniting of body to serve the soul's purpose, as seen in the likes of dancers, athletes, and during the birth process. Okay, there is something physical that is wanting to, no, I'm phrasing that wrong. There's something spiritual that's wanting to be expressed through the physical, is how it's coming through. So I feel like the spiritual energy is already there, but the physical is needing time to catch up, or that's the process that you're in right now, is allowing the spiritual energy to be expressed physically, is how it's feeling. But I'm just seeing this red snake here, but it feels kind of like you're being, like that's you, and something is being removed, or you're being removed from a group or something like that. It does feel kind of like that. Or transformed. It doesn't have to be removed, but because it's energy can't be destroyed, right? It just changes forms. So it's almost like there's something in your life here that's being represented by whatever this energy is here. The yellow, green, blue is being almost like transformed into something else, right? This energy could be a spiritual energy as well. This spiritual energy is almost like taking shape or taking form into this white rose, but it may be something where it's like the white rose is not what you expected, or like there's because it's that feeling of like Gandalf the Grey becoming the White Wizard, right? Gandalf the White. It does feel kind of like an elevation or an expansion or the next level for you, Taurus, but it comes through separation or hardship or difficulty or it's feeling like separation, to be honest. And you have synchronicity. Synchronicity and separation at the bottom of the deck, yeah. There is a separation between you and something, right? As part of the path that you're on. It feels like root chakra related, so it could be something like you're moving, could be something like family or friend groups, or it could be anything to do with the root chakra, really. A place of belonging. Okay, I'm going to pull one card from the Energy Archaeology Oracle. But it's like, whatever it is, it's difficult. But at the same time, like, now that I've spoken about this, Taurus, like, it's feeling, there's so much relief that's coming through. I feel like part of the situation that you're in right now feels uncomfortable because it's almost like there's pressure from both sides, both paths. Like, there's pressure from behind you and pressure from ahead of you as well. And the pressure from behind you, whatever that means for you, is feeling like it's stronger because it's trying to get you to move forward. Because it feels like the forward path for you feels scarier. That's how it feels. The forward path feels scarier in some way. But this energy is being transformed into something new. Okay, yeah. Surrender, the false ribs. This card is yeah, speaking about fear. Surrender is a choice you can freely make when you trust that you are supported and are willing to receive that support and protection. Fear holds you back from surrender. Fear of the things you don't know or haven't figured out for yourself. Fear that something hidden in the shadows may come up fully when you're open and vulnerable. Fear of the unknown. Fear that something beyond your current grounding and comprehension wants to move through you and flow with you. Who are you if you feel these fears and surrender anyway? You are safe and protected, secure, and held in this vulnerable opening. You are supported to understand seemingly incomprehensible things on an energetic level. Grow your capacity for change. Give this transformation room to move. Give it space to be seen, heard, and even delighted in. Breathe deep, trust, and choose to surrender. Okay? Yeah. Taurus, there is something about fear that's being sort of triggered because it feels kind of like your stability is changing. Something that has been very stable is changing. So surrender to this feeling of uncertainty. You are safe. You are protected. Whatever it is that you're going through, it's going to work out. It's going to work out. Just surrender control and allow this energy to move through you. It feels like a tough transition or transformation that's happening. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, Taurus. I hope that helped. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.